One of my favourite films of all time is Zulu. It's one of the films I watched as a kid that inspired me to want to become a British soldier. Now, Zulu is one of these films that it's an epic, it's timeless. It's one of those films you can watch over and over again. And I know I certainly have, because growing up in the 80s, it was Zulu along with James Bond that was on every bank holiday Monday. So kids my generation and a bit older, we can probably recite the whole script to you start to finish. However, sadly, Zulu is one of these things now that the woke have targeted, because apparently it's something to do with white supremacy. Have you ever heard of anything so fucking ridiculous in all your life? They're coming for everything now. Books, films, you name it. If some woke, hairy snowflake cries about something because it upsets them, then you can bet your bottom dollar they will try their best to get it cancelled. Now, Zulu has been included in a list by the government's Prevent scheme for encouraging far-right sympathies. Ah, dear. Jesus Christ. I mean, if people knew the background to the making of the movie, then they wouldn't be saying such rubbish, would they? So, if you don't know what Zulu is all about, it's a battle that was fought in Africa at a place called Rorke's Drift. This was in 1879, if I remember, and it was during the Anglo-Zulu War. And that Anglo-Zulu War was started by a guy called Lord Chelmsford. And Lord Chelmsford was the commander of a British colony down there back then. And what the idiot did was he declared war on the Zulu nation because he wanted to eliminate them. However, Lord Chelmsford greatly underestimated the tactical skills of the Zulu warriors, and he and his army fell into their trap, and they were all wiped out, each and every one of them, the whole army gone. However, there might be one survivor. I think a lieutenant survived, and he had the colours, I'm not too sure, correct me in the comments. And that incident was portrayed in another good film called Zulu Dawn that was made in the late 70s, I believe. But that was a prelude to Rorke's Drift. So that Zulu army destroyed Lord Chelmsford's army, and then they ran all the way to Rorke's Drift to confront 150 soldiers of the British army, a few Boers, I think it's pronounced correctly. But after, I think it was a day and a night of wave after wave of Zulu attacks, they didn't succeed. 150 British soldiers held out, fought them off, and 11 Victoria Crosses, which is the highest award for British bravery, were awarded that day. So it's a legend in the British Army. Well, if you were in my day and before, the British Army taught you about Rorke's Drift and what happened. I mean, I remember even playing Zulu when I was in primary school, and it was always the front rank fire, middle rank fire, rear rank fire bit we all played, and we'd have 3 ranks stood in the playground, and we'd have a commander, and then we'd have other kids play Zulus. Now, what these woke snowflakes won't tell you, or what probably they don't know about the making of the film Zulu, is it was filmed in South Africa. I think it was behind Tabletop Mountain. Again, correct me in the comments. And after the whole film was made, they wanted to screen it in South Africa. However, the apartheid South African government didn't want the black extras to be in the cinema to watch it, so they wanted to exclude them because it was a racist government, and it was all about segregation, and they just wanted the white actors and white members of the public, the South Africans, I'm sorry I said it in that accent, to watch the film. But what the government didn't know is that the makers of the movie already, I think, previously gave all the black actors, the extras, a private screening of the film before the main premiere in South Africa. Now, I may have got the story wrong, but I know for a fact the makers made sure that the black extras got to see the movie they were in. And so it's not about racism, all right? There is a slight inaccuracy, or there's a few slight inaccuracies in the movie, which is all about overcoming the odds and esprit de corps. The film isn't about racism. The film doesn't... there's nothing derogatory said or done about black people. If anything, I think it portrays the black Zulu nation as fierce, thinking soldiers. The Zulu commanders at the time, they didn't just throw each and every Zulu warrior they had at one position. They tried different tactics. and they still retreated with significant numbers, so it wasn't a total loss. But I think now the woke snowflakes are coming after anything, any film, any book, any story, or fairy tales even, where white people are denoted as the heroes, and anything that doesn't look Caucasian, which comes off worse at the end of the story, is just seen as racist, and it's bollocks, it's nonsense, and everyone should be fighting this left-wing nonsense tooth and nail. After all, Rorke's Drift is not a made-up story, it's true, it happened. And to erase it is effectively erasing our history. So there we go, that's what I think. That's my video. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And until the next time, Roger Trout.